Nice to rendezvous with you again. I want to speak about vibration in the arena of music.
That's a good subject to begin understanding vibration, because you understand harmony and disharmony, or harmony and discord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As a youth, I was classically trained in music.
Yeah.
And it's a part of I feel like it's a part of my spiritual DNA.
Well, it certainly is an early expression of your natural vibrational being. Yes.
Yes. At this point in my life, I feel like it's a tool for me to experience my own level of awareness and vibration. And I understand from music that there are so many different individual vibrations. For instance, in the field of orchestral music, there are the brass and the woodwind and the string, different areas of vibration.
Yes. Oh, it's rich, isn't it? Not only is every note a different vibration, but even the same note played by a different instrument is a different vibration.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's leading to my question, is that sometimes I feel that sometimes I experience, you've used the word a number of times, ecstasy. And I feel like, I don't know where on the range of the emotion is, but I feel that I experience that.
Well, it's as high as it gets, and it's leading edge. What you're feeling are those of us who are non-physically focused through you. You see, we feel that way all the time. We feel that way all the time. What you're describing is you opening up and allowing yourself to feel what we feel.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
So that answers a part of my question. The other is, it seems like there are a couple of the segments of the orchestra, the brass and the percussion, particularly like trumpets or trombones individually or in combination with timpani or bass drum. Those combinations, sometimes it's like I can't hold onto my body, I just soar. So I would like a little clarification on that.
Well, let's see if we can find the words, because you're having the experience of it. And so it's the bass, it's the deeper notes along with the percussions. Give us more description.
Well, I'm sure everybody knows what a trumpet sounds like.
Yes.
And I would not consider that a deeper note, although tuba and trombone certainly can be, and it can be a combination of that. And like cymbals within the combination of brass instruments. It feels like I'm guided into like a point for some reason. It's like I'm so focused maybe.
So can you call it timing?
Okay.
The introduction of the cymbal to it at a particular point of timing, a sort of crescendo?
It's a build up to that. Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Give us, if you can, we know you can, some characteristics of a trumpet that are different from the characteristics of a flute.
Well, for me personally, I think a trumpet has such clarity and focus, whereas the vibration of a flute is more general.
So if you were to look at a sound wave of one or the other, have you ever seen a sound wave of a trumpet?
I don't think I have. I can visualize it though.
That would be worth doing, because that would answer your question.
Okay.
Mark notices that because they always do a sound check with Esther, and he is looking at sound waves on the computer screen, and he's noticed that the sound of Esther and the sound of Abraham to the ear are much the same, but on the computer screen there's a very different vibrational.
Right. I understand that.
It's about the sustaining of the energy within it. And so that's the difference between the flute and the trumpet. In other words, think about the sustaining, and then with that word sustaining, think about the word momentum. Ooh, isn't music a replication or representative of the whole of the mix of everything that's going on in this physical environment, of everyone playing their parts, some holding the notes longer, some coming in just at the right timing. And the leading of such an orchestra is what each of you are doing in your own lives. Because of what you're accomplishing vibrationally, you're bringing in the different components that will fill it in to make it richer and more whole and exactly as you intend it to be. Now, we didn't get quite there. Something more?
It feels fulfilled.
We do not know of a better conversation, never had one and may never have one, that more succinctly expresses the vibrational nature of what's going on here. And to be able to translate it through this knowing is what we wish for everyone. Truly. This is a good time for a segment of refreshment. And are you refreshed? Good. Now what?
So I wrote down a question on Tuesday.
Yeah.
A question about projection on other people. And I would like some help because I understand how to do it on other people, and I do it very successfully. But because I don't have any momentum about them.
Projection on other people?
Yes, I mean, when you see the strength of another person, even though he doesn't realize it, but you see it, and you tell it to him, or you show it in a different way, somehow I feel that I'm a catalyst for them to see it, to help, to enable them to see it. But I don't have any momentum about them, you see? But I do have a momentum about myself.
So it's easier for you to expect or anticipate for those that you don't have negative momentum. That's logical, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So? So think about what you just said. You're new in the moment.
Yes.
You're not dragging the past into it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no past to activate, and so there is no past that you are activating. So it's just you and another fresh in this moment, and you feeling good and flowing pure positive energy toward them. So what aspect of that could you carry forward in thinking about yourself? Don't bring the past into it. Start fresh and new in the moment. Which is what we've been talking about quite a bit already here today. What that requires is a willingness to, or an understanding that, let's just say it to you bluntly, you can't explain yourself anyway. So why do you try so hard? So do you think that it is a feeling of not being quite where I want to be that makes you continue to want to justify where you are? And who are you justifying to? Others who you feel don't understand you or that you need to explain to. But if your dominant relationship that you were wanting to accomplish and keep going were the relationship between you and your inner being, wouldn't that take care of quite a bit of that? Because your inner being does not need you to explain who you are or where you stand in proximity to what you desire. Your inner being knows all of that. What do you think? You're in a very clear place, and so we think we can have a very good conversation that will be helpful to so many. What do you think causes you to not think as kindly of yourself as you do a stranger or a new person? You already said that there's no momentum, but what kinds of thoughts do you find yourself thinking that are hindering?
Because I know that it's all about talking about things that are not working for me, but
if you're just standing in your now, what is it about being in the now that seems to require an explanation?
It's an interesting question.
Part of it's wanting to get to know each other. We get that. But after a while, you sort of have gotten to know each other. What do you believe you are continuing to try to explain? What's the explanation about? Why do you want to explain it to someone else? Or are you really explaining it to yourself and they're just listening in? We've been calling it rationalization or justification or defensiveness. So if you're in a place of defensiveness, you're more likely to do that. But what if you got a good night's sleep? And what if, when you awakened, you knew that you were new in the day and that any momentum on anything has subsided, and while you still do hold beliefs, you're having a fresh start where you could choose momentum? And what if this morning and tomorrow morning and the next morning and the next morning you were doing that so that you were fresh in this moment? So you were fresh to yourself like the stranger is fresh to you. Would it keep you from needing to explain so much? What if you began to define yourself in terms of how you feel rather than who you are, or how you feel rather than where you've been, or how you feel rather than what you've been doing, or how you feel rather than what happened in your life? I was raised this, or I'm a recovering this, or if you could just resist the temptation to try to describe and define yourself so much. What if you pretended, or what if you knew what we actually know? They're not that interested in you anyway. What if they didn't care where you've been or how you got to where you are? What if they were just there because law of attraction brought you together? And what if they were just there to mine your positive aspects? What if they were just there to mine or co-create with your points of harmony? What if you are nothing more or nothing less, and we mean nothing less because it's a lot? What if you were, to the others that you met, a cooperative component that the law of attraction has brought together, not to explain where you've been and not to explain how long you've been there, but just to co-create with you in this dance right here and now? So you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Your inner being is flowing through you. Your inner beings are dancing with their inner beings. Everybody knows vibrationally who everyone is. And now what? Not where we've been, how'd we get here? Now what? Where are we going? Now what? Now what? And when you meet with someone and you say, now what? And they say, oh, yesterday. And you say, no. Now what? Oh, last week. No. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what are we going to co-create together? What is the best of me and the best of you going to do here and now? Now what? Now what?
I really like this idea that everybody is here to see something good about me. I really like that.
Even better said, everyone who comes into your experience has come by law of attraction, and so there is benefit for you and benefit for them, because things are always working out for me's. For me's, for me, for me, for me. Things are always working out for me's, for me's, for me's, for me's. Things are always working out for me's, for you's, for me's, for us's. Everything is always working out for all of us. And so here we are. And could it be enough? Couldn't you just say, well, here we are, this must matter. Here we are on the elevator, maybe for the first time. Here we are just making eye contact as we're passing in an airport. Here we are, making the most of every moment, because your inner beings are always making the most of every moment, you see. And the less you are trying to explain how you got to where you are, and the more you're accepting the goodness and the rightness and the perfection of where you are, right here, because your point of power is here, now, never then, now.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So you've met a stranger. So take it to where you were going. Your question's good. Now we've laid a basis. Let's talk about it.
I would like to find my new professional path, something new for myself, something that I will really like.
We think that's really good.